Today we're launching an engagement campaign. Now, an engagement campaign is one that you want to run for the benefit of your Facebook business page. Now, there's so many different ways, so many different avenues that you can take it, but when it comes to your engagement campaign, you get to promote a post within your business page. So if you have an event, as an example, coming up, you get to highlight that event. If you have a very important post that you want to share with your audience, you get to run that particular post and it stays on your business page. So that's actually the huge benefit and reason why you want to launch a Facebook engagement campaign, because that post gets to stay on your business page. So when you're broadcasting that message to the world, to the hundreds and thousands of people that you reach with your advertising, that post actually stays. That's completely different than all of the other posts that you advertise on Facebook. So whenever you go to the Ads Manager, in fact, let me just go ahead and share the screen with you and share with you what we're talking about. So if I go to create right here, brand awareness, reach, traffic, app install, video views, lead generation, messages, conversions, everything else goes away. So the moment that you say, all right, Facebook, I spent $1,000 this month, I don't need to spend any more money with you, guess what? Everything else goes away. So here the difference is on the engagement campaign, if you run $1,000 worth of an ad to that particular post, it gets to stay. So you get that clout, you get that brand recognition to stay on there. And it's a great way for you to liven up your business page. If there's an important message that you want to convey, you get to grow your audience in that regard. And we'll talk about some nuances along the way, but just giving you an understanding what the Facebook engagement campaign is all about. So now that we're here, let's go ahead and start a campaign. Just a small reminder, to get to this screen, you go to business.facebook.com/ads manager. So we're going to go to engagement, and you're going to see now we get the option. What type of engagement do we want? Do we want post engagement, which is what we're going to do today? Do we want page likes? So it's just going to give people the option to just get that like button. So to like your business page, I do not recommend this by any stretch of the imagination. And we'll talk about why here in a little bit. Event responses, that one I can get on board with that. In terms of advertising an event that you have coming up, whether you are in the real estate, whether you're in the catering business, whether you're in the hospitality business, whatever type of business that you're in, that makes a lot of sense. Event responses makes a ton of sense. But for our purposes, we're going to stay with post engagement. And now just a quick reset, quick reminder, we're at the campaign level. We're selecting from the campaign level. Well, we actually already selected it, but we can change it. Selecting the objective that we're trying to advertise for. So we could still change it to lead generation. We can still change it to video views. We can still change it to conversion, all that fun stuff. So we're selecting the objective. What's our goal? What are we trying to achieve? At the ad set level, we're selecting where geographically we want to advertise. We're selecting who we want to advertise to. So that's where we get to select the ages, the genders, and all that fun stuff. And then we also get to select the placements. We get to select whether that's Facebook newsfeed, whether that's Facebook stories, whether that's Instagram feed, or it's Instagram stories. We get to select that. So that's what happens at the ad set level. At the ad level, what we select there is what we're going to show to the general public, what our ad is going to be. So the ad copy, so what you say within the ad, and then 2, the image or video that you want to highlight. Now, here the difference is that you can create a post, remember, because this gets to stay on your page if you so will it gets to stay on your page. So you can create the post from here, or go ahead and create your post first over on your business page and then run traffic to it. So think of it this way. A lot of you are familiar with boosting your posts. This is the sophisticated way of boosting your post. This is the correct way of boosting your post, as opposed to just hitting boost post and it just go anywhere and everywhere. So this is actually this is a better way of doing it. Is a better way of saying that. Not going to worry about the name today because I don't necessarily have a campaign that we're going to launch. I just want to illustrate to you how to actually do this and go through the nuances. If you're running an ad within the special ad category, so this means credit, employment, housing, elections, or anything that has to do with that, you do have to toggle the switch here saying that you are running an ad within the special ad category. Again, credit, employment, housing, and elections. If you see here, you're selecting those. So many of you are real estate agents, so you would select housing, and anything that has to do with housing, you have to select that. That's the type of ad that you're running. For our purposes today, just to give you the breadth of this this ad campaign, we're not going to select that. And just so you see, if you're outside of the real estate industry, all of the options that you have at your disposal. All right, so we're not going to worry about auction because that's not going to change. We're not going to worry about changing the campaign objective because we want to do a post-engagement campaign. So we're going to leave it at that. A/B testing, you can split test. I don't necessarily enjoy split testing this way, so I'll show you the manual way after we conclude. The campaign budget optimization, you get to select how much you want to spend on your campaign from here if you toggle this on. So you can see here how much you want to spend per day. You can select that, or you can have a lifetime budget. But we're not going to select the campaign budget optimization. So if we select the budget right here, that means that regardless of the ad sets that you select here, or regardless of the ads that you post there, it's going to spend the same. So we're not going to worry about selecting the budget right there. But we are going to go through and select the ad set, and now we have the ability to select the budget from right here. So here we get to select based off of the ad set. This is where we select our budget as opposed to the entire campaign. So every time I create a new ad set, I can select the budget. I like that type of split testing a little bit more. Now, I get this question quite a bit. How do I select when I want these ads to run and when I don't want them to run? You would have to go to lifetime budget, go to show more options, and you see where it says run ads all the time. You would hit edit, and then now you can select run ads on a schedule. So if you're only open from 8 to 4 p.m. as an example, well, you can run your ads within those periods. That way you have people coming up whenever you're open. So we did this all of the time when I was back in I used to own a boba tea shop here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we had a location in Deep Ellum, so they're in Dallas, and then also in North Richland Hills. And this is exactly what we would do. So we opened around noon. So we would run ads right before noon and then just try to get some people through the door as quickly as possible. And then we would turn the ads off about an hour before we actually close to give people some time to order their final drink. So the boba tea business was part of my portfolio at some point, but I have since sold that business and moved on. Alrighty, so let me just remove that, and then I'll go to daily budget. All right, now we get to select a saved audience, a custom audience, or a lookalike audience. For our purposes today, we're not going to select either. A saved audience is just a preset. So if I go through here and I select the age, the gender, the demographics that I want to target, and wherever I want to target, I can just save that audience. So I don't have to come in here every single time and recreate the audience. It's already saved. It's almost like a preset. Actually, it is a preset. A custom audience is a custom audience that you bring to the table. So you can upload your database. You can use all of the people that have interacted with your Facebook page or your Instagram page. You can select all the people that have visited your website. So these are all custom audiences that you bring to the table. It's your behavior or the behavior of your clients or prospective leads that or prospective clients, I guess, that you bring to the table. So that's what a custom audience is. And a lookalike audience, this goes back and looks at the custom audience and goes out into Facebook, tries to find you some additional clients. So if you upload your database, which is again is called a custom audience, if you upload your database onto Facebook and you select the lookalike audience, you're going to look at that custom audience and broadcast it to everybody else, to those people that Facebook likes or sees. All right, so we're gonna go with people. For us, let's just go with that boba tea example. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just go with that one. Again, so you real estate agents, notice that the difference here for you is going to be you're not gonna be able to select based off of age. You're not gonna be able to filter based off of gender. You're not gonna be able to do anything in targeting outside of targeting the interest. So that's a difference for you. And also last change, so you see kind of the differences and nuances, since I know that a lot of real estate agents watch this channel, so that's what the content is primarily for. So if I go to Dallas, notice that I can go down to the 10-mile radius, and then I can also drop a pin, and now I can go down to a 1-mile radius. Now this right here, what you just saw, if you're under the special ad category, again, running a credit, employment, housing, or elections, if you're running that type of campaign, you cannot get down to this molecular level. Sorry to break it to you. So this means that you have to stay within a 15-mile radius and then expand. And then expand. You cannot go any lower. So just be aware that that's what the limitation is from that standpoint. So if we're gonna go and advertise, in our example, our store, so in Deep Ellum, we'll just do a mile, people that are hanging around Deep Ellum, people living in or recently in this location. So people people recently in this location, we would generally just run it with that. People in or recently in. So people who live there or recently there, because Deep Ellum is a good weekend spot to go and hang out. For ages, we didn't do anything with ages. Genders, we didn't do anything with genders. As far as demographics, here you can select whatever demographic you want, whether they're parents, whether they have older children, younger children, you can go through and select that. And now when we get to placements, whenever you leave placements on, under the engagement campaign, notice that the messenger goes away, because here we're talking about engaging with a certain post, engaging with your page altogether. So notice that messenger is not even an option, and it's more restricted. So if you're trying to reach if you want to run a messages campaign, then select a messages campaign, just so you know kind of how that works. But for our purposes today, I'm only going to advertise in the news feed. No, there's no specific purpose for that. I just want to advertise in the news feed. In this particular example, if we're going through the boba tea store, so reliving my glory days, we can do that. But notice I'm just going to use my Facebook page just so you see the example. So here's my demo Jaime Resendiz Realtor page. I can add an Instagram placement if we want. So remember, we've gone through selecting the campaign objective, which in this case is the engagement campaign. We selected where, so geographically it's in Deep Ellum. We selected who, we kept the ages, the genders, the demographics, and then we also selected the placements. We just selected the Facebook newsfeed, and now we're here at the ad. Now we get to create the ad. We can create a post from right here, or so we can create an ad. So basically, if we create the ad, it's going to stay on the advertising platform. So the moment that you stop advertising is the moment that that ad, so the ad goes away. So that is not what I would advise here in this particular case. If you were trying to run a ad campaign where you highlighted a post, then I would suggest you use a traffic campaign or something else. But here, what I want you to do is leverage you being able to select a post from your business page and then amplifying it. So the 1,000 likes that you're going to get, the 500 comments that you're going to get, the 50 shares that you're going to get, stay on your business page. That's what I want for you. So we're going to use an existing post, and now we're going to select the post. For this, since it's a demo, I'm just going to select this one. All right. So this right here, this is a post that's on my demo business page. So on my Jaime Resendiz Realtor business page, this is a post that's living over there. Now, if I were to run ads to this, then it would start getting likes, it would start getting comments, it would start getting shares, and we can work from there. Now you can create a post from here. So this is where you create it and it actually publishes on your page. So if we click on that, see if it'll let us. If we click on that, notice that, look, I double clicked. Notice that it looks like any other post, right? So you get to publish, you get to create the post from here. I recommend you go to your business page, create the post first, make sure that you like it, and edit it however you want, and then you run add to it, as opposed to creating it from here, because this can get a little bit clunky. It could get a little bit frustrating. So just do it on your business page first and then come back here and just select the post so you don't have to worry about editing. And you can add a call to action, so you can put your website, and you're going to see this change right here. So learn more, you can send them to your website, you can send them to a landing page, you can send them back to your business page. That's fine as well. How do we select it at the very beginning? I hope that you remember. How do we select it at the very beginning to do a likes? So a likes campaign, this would automatically have that like button, but we didn't. So this was more to highlight a post. And then the rest of the information is good to go. All you have to do is press publish, and you run an engagement campaign. Now, before I let you go, I'll just close this. How you split test this is, if you were gonna split test the targeting, if you're gonna split test, let's just say a male versus female, if you wanted to do that split test to see who was more responsible for your sales than you would in your engagement, then all you would have to do is go to duplicate right here at the ad set level. You would duplicate it from right there, and now you would go through and select male, and then over here you would select female. So that's how I manually split test, because now what you're gonna see is that $11 is allocated over here and $11 is allocated over here. So that's how I split test, as opposed to putting the entire amount at the optimize at the campaign. So using the campaign budget optimization. So that's how you split test.